Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the ESL One Katowice Qualifiers here in Poland. And welcome to you as well, Alex.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be in this chair. Obviously, it's a bit of a last-minute thing. About 2 days ago, I was not coming to Katowice, and now I am, so just getting you settling into that as well.
Now, fill us in. What were you doing 2 days ago?
There's a tradition in Germany called Carnival, where basically you just, it's like 4 or 5 days where you dress up and drink in the street. And that might have been what I was doing until I got a call from my product manager saying, hey, just so you know, Lauren's absolutely got horribly red eyes and we need you.
Oh, that is definitely painful.
And commiserations to Lauren, she's probably watching it, and it's not the nicest thing.
No, that's really sad. I mean, we obviously wanted Pansy to be here, but we're glad that you could step in and help us out, and that's really, really good stuff. Now, that last game was crazy, wasn't it? That was Titan very, very nearly losing to Peter.
I mean, that game. I mean, to explain the gravity of that, we have, I mean, the eighth seed in that group, Peter, up against the first seed Titan. The fact that the gravity of that is unbelievable.
It is really, really. I mean, I'm impressed by Peter. I really am. They played that game quite well. They could have actually won it a number of times.
So many times.
Quadruple overtimes. Not every day we get to see that. And now, Titan sort of barely making it through, and they're going to play CLG, who I would say on paper is a stronger team than Peter. But it could have been a bit of a wake-up call for Titan as well. These best-of-one games are a little bit unpredictable at times.
Of course, I mean, that's the best-of-one format, is every mistake you make is going to be punished and is going to be held against you. And so, I mean, Titan, they made their own, like a handful of mistakes. I mean, Maniac was kind of a bit weaker early in the games, but then again, he did pull them back from the clutches of losses at the time. So, I mean, it's interesting. But anyway, we should start to address the game in hand. Of course, CLG up against Titan, and you can see the lineup there for Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah, Finesse, Tarek, Cutler, Hazed, and Peter at the end there, doing the in-game leading. The All-Ping as well, and just generally a really cool guy. I've run into him a couple of times already here at the tournament. I mean, these guys are motivated like hell, and I wouldn't be surprised if they could take this away.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, CLG, I was talking to them just after their game, like they came over, and I was like, so what just happened? Like, you had control of that game. I mean, of course, you casted it, and from where I was standing, I could only catch a couple of the games. I was obviously putting most of my attention into Titan, but it did seem that they had complete control, and then maybe it was the crowd, I don't know what it was, but they Gamers 2 kind of got a foothold back in.
Yeah, there was just I think when you know you're supposed to winning, you're the favorites, and all of a sudden it's just not working. Nothing's working, and the other guys are doing something as simple as just hitting the shots all the time, right? They're hitting all the shots, and you feel like maybe you're not, and it's starting to really grind you down. And I think then just got to Titan a little bit. There was a point where Existence kind of had to just take a moment and really shout at them and say, look, now we have to stop screwing this up. And that worked, as it often does on Titan. If you've been following them for a long time, you'll know Existence is that in-game leader who'll sort of take the reins at some point and say, now we got to pull this together.
And they did, finally. I mean, that was an amazing.
But it's definitely also a little bit worrying because, you know, it also did take Kenny dropping 50-some frags for them to win, and that can't keep happening. Speaking of Kenny, he's in camera there as well, a little bit to left. And then a Maniac, Existence, and we got Peter on the other side, the only guy showing up for CLG to do the veto.
It's a 5-man operation for Titan. They need every single man to discuss. We already see 2 maps taken away. Cobble, no surprises there. Mirage and Inferno, though, going to be taken away as well.
Yeah, which is always interesting. Inferno used to be like the #1 favorite best-of-one type map, so I'm excited about that.
You can see Overpass still in the mix. Intrigued to see how long that remains. Of course, we did see 2 cash already. Obviously, map teams may be favoring that already in this tournament, and intriguing to see if that stays in. As of course, Dust2, a map we know CLG can perform on. They've actually beaten a V over at MLG on that map, so that's something that we have to remember.
I'd say it was suicide for Titan to leave cash in, and they do remove it. Mirage also definitely not a map they want to play. Overpass now it's Dust down, Dust to a nuke. Wow,
it's Dust2.
Okay, very interesting. Well, I mean, you have Kenny on Dust2 versus Peter on Dust2. Could be a very interesting game, this one. Nuke, I would have actually been a little bit more sad about. Like, I love watching Nuke. It's one of the best maps, I think. But problem is, in best-of-one, it could be so incredibly one-sided. So Dust2 probably going to be more of a overall nice affair from a spectating point of view.
Definitely. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. I mean, Dust2, it's a map everyone knows, everyone's played thousands of hours on. And I mean, Peter, you said already, Battle of the Orps. I think that's going to be our storyline for this one. It's just the case that Peter, incredible player, but then again, Kenny S, debatably or arguably one of the best, if not the best. And so, yeah, you can tell he's on form. 54 frags at the end of that one. Every single round. I mean, in fact, yeah, it worked out. He had a round, at least a killer round, doing the maths.
Yeah.
Like, that's unbelievable kind of scoreline. And so, yeah, Battle of the Orcs. But other than that, it's also a case of momentum. We saw what happened to Titan. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I think this is also a wake-up call for Titan. And I think almost every top team actually would prefer to play other teams that they at least know. I mean, CLG, they're not going to know super well, but they'll probably have a little bit of a clue about what's going on. And Dust2 is such a well-known map as well. This used to be the map that Titan was the absolute best on. When they still had Callie in the team and all that stuff, they had a double up setup. We'll see how that's going to work out. This time, they do have still Kenny, Apex, Maniac, Existence, and they brought in RPK, who's not per se an AWPer, but when you have Kenny, I mean, it's almost enough. And they probably will have Existence double AWPing if they need it. If they need like the double up setup, they're going to put Existence on that probably.
Yeah, they ended up bringing out in cash eventually when they were looking for those rounds. And so, yeah, that's still something for Titan's sleeve. And over on the other side of things for over on the other side of things for RPK, you've already highlighted his presence, and he wasn't really doing too well on the score in the first game. You saw him sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard, and I think yet to see him, we saw him already really kind of delivering online, but here in the offline environment, maybe taking a while to warm up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while before we see like the full power of RPK. Okay. Actually, I would say he's already come back into it faster than I thought he would. I actually thought we'd have to wait a lot longer. So I'm just sort of pleased, but obviously from Titan as a whole, they need him right now. Like they want him working 100% right now, and I'm sure they've done whatever they could to make that true. But it is going to take a while when you sort of cold turkey as he did.
Well, that's what I need to highlight. Like, this guy has not played CS in so long.
Yeah.
And these guys, I mean, he's playing up against people who've played the game every single day. Whenever they have the moment, they will play it. And so, I mean, that is so difficult for someone to. I don't know how he's done it already. He's at a relatively competitive level already. I mean, he's playing for Titan. He's getting the scores. He's getting the frags, and then I don't know how he's managed to get to that stage so quickly.
It is pretty cool, but obviously, you know, if you need him at an extra 20-30%, which he probably does have, like he still has like an upper level that's really high, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with CLG though, because actually some of the people that played really well when they were playing the first game against Gamers 2 was actually Cutler, and I mean I want to see a little bit more from Tarek as well. Really well-known personality and obviously very good player. But I just want to see him, you know, stepping it up and taking a little bit more frags here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think obviously it comes down to in-game leaders, picking up frags as well as Peter, who does both for the CLG side. So there's a lot of weight on his shoulders, getting the calls early. Of course, we've already said that Titan. I'm not a big believer in the mind games of LAN, but there is definitely a presence there. We saw Peter shouting, screaming, really just getting hyped, and I think that played on Titan's mind.
Definitely.
So I think if they can get into their head, get those early rounds, I wouldn't be surprised if Titan. I mean, they're going to be doing their best to kind of be relaxed. You can see Kenny on screen now. Just he's kicking back. He wants to be as calm as possible. I saw him typing in chat actually. I mean, it was. I think we were about 40 rounds in, and just him going, "This match is exhausting." Yeah. I mean, he was really tired after that one.
And speaking of which, Kenny is actually one of the players that used to have a big problem in the past playing on LAN and dealing with the pressure of having people shouting at him, or just the general sort of the nervousness of playing high-level matches on LAN. One of the reasons why he ended up exiting very games back then, the first time around. So he's fixed that problem. I mean, he's done more than fixing it. He's actually become like one of the scariest players on LAN as well, which is very, very impressive because it's something that, you know, tracking your aim and getting better at playing aim-wise is, you know, something you can work on your own, right? You can go in and deathmatch a lot. You can try and just get better and better. How do you work on sort of the mental aspect of the game, get better at playing on LAN? You just have to do it a lot.
Yeah, practice makes perfect.
Yeah, it is really, really hard. You don't always get that many opportunities either, so you got to sort of cherish the ones you have and make the most of it. And it's a long process to become that kind of player. And I think CLG have a lot less experience in that sense. But all of that should have been working in favor of Titan when they were playing Peter, and it kind of didn't. So, we're going to have to eventually make a call about who's going to win this.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready? I'm going to have to put it to Titan here. I think the game against Peter was a wake-up call for them. I think they're going to come into this match very, very differently. I think this is going to be like the wake-up moment. And actually, if it isn't, that's a big warning sign, I would say, for for the Titan team in general. Like that would be a big problem. But we can forgive them for having like a slow start, first day, first match, best of one. Like that can happen, but only one of them.
I mean, if that game had gone, I mean, there were so many rounds that Peter could have picked up. That could have very easily been a loss to Titan. And so, I mean, that's not necessarily going to be playing on their minds. I think they know they dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're right. I think this comes down to Titan treating this as a whole new game. Of course, there's only so much that can be said between one game, but it very well could be enough. When you're in this best of one format, I've already said it, when Peter started getting momentum, that was when Titan started looking a little surprisingly weak. And so I think D2, it's a new map, it's a new Titan, and we'll see what CLG can do, especially in the early game, to see how this one plays out.
I mean, I spoke to Peter in the break, and he said, it'd be kind of nice to play Peter, the Russian team. That would be probably an easier challenge than playing Titan. At the same time, he wanted to sort of check playing against Kenny S off his bucket list. That's something he has always wanted to do. Now he's going to get a chance. That could actually be like a real factor as well. For CLG, this is a big moment to try and play against a top team. And that could definitely make them very motivated, very hungry. They just got to make sure that motivation doesn't sort of keel over into nervousness and excitement, right? You got to keep it cool somehow. But they seem to be able to do that earlier. Did just narrowly defeat Gamers2 in the first match of the day.
I mean, that game. I mean, it feels like we may be going into too much detail about this game against Peter, but it was such a big deal. I mean, 6-1 down for the start for Titan. I've highlighted it 1,000 times already, just how poorly they started. So 6-1 down, they lost the pistol, lost the first buy. It was really not going well for Titan early game. And so, like I said already, CLG, you knock them down again, we could be seeing that same weaker Titan. You need to get that early start, need to kind of be ready to bring your A game right off the bat, which of course they have. Both teams have played one game now. They're both coming off of wins which they could have probably picked up a lot sooner. It's fair to say about CLG, as well as Titan. So yeah, that's going to be a factor for both these teams. Is kicking off really as they mean to go on.
Yeah, and I'm excited. You can see they're just taking their time to set up. So in the meantime, you guys should definitely go and check out the social media as well. So that's ESLCS on Twitter, also on Facebook, and tweet at us and see what's going on. Yeah, so we're going to start in about 1 minute, guys. We'll be ready with the game, and you can see the audience is still here, and that's really, really cool. Something I expect for the main tournament at Katowice, as well as like a huge audience turnout. And this is without the Polish teams playing. They're just here to enjoy Counter-Strike.
And the noise, I didn't realize 60 people or however many people are here could make so much noise. It's awesome to have just here. You're at the Angelo Hotel and just there's this roar as every round was picked up. It was really fun to have even now in the offline qualifiers. Some couple of individuals worth highlighting, of course, Kenny S picking up those 54 frags. And we've already said his name. We're going to keep saying his name because that man is a monster. I want to see a weak Kenny S game. It doesn't happen often.
No, it definitely doesn't. But actually, that does bring up a good point. What does happen to Titan if Kenny has like a bad day? That is something that you may not want the answer to, because that could actually be kind of fatal right now. You can't rely on Kenny to drop 50 kills every game. That's a bad team plan.
It is. It's true. And if your whole composition revolves around this pick or that pick being picked up, then you're right, it could all come falling down. But then that, again, we talked about it before, the pressure on Peter's shoulders in these AWP v AWPs. I don't know how often he's going to try and take them, but you're right, you take him out of the equation, and that's going to be a much kind of more promising game for CLG.
I think Peter is gonna fight. I think he's not going to be afraid at all, because actually you can't really do AWPing and be like afraid to peek. You have to commit yourself to it and just say, well, I'm just going to win it. And as soon as I win it, he won't have money to rebuy, and I'll just keep winning. Confidence is generally a strong force in Counter-Strike, but I think especially when you're AWPing, it makes such a big difference, because you really only get that one shot in if you're against a tough opponent. So I expect him to come out guns blazing like that. But who's going to start on what side is actually also going to be somewhat critical here. I mean, even though it's Dust2 and all of that stuff, if Kenny gets to start on CT side, gets an AWP early on, especially when the pistol round,
that's when it's
really rough. And that's what D-Man was saying earlier. CLG have really worked on trying to up their pistol rounds. They've trying to get better and better at it because they realize that's something that's been a little bit tough on them. So if they can keep winning those pistol rounds, I mean, best of one game, how much of it does come down to the pistol? A whole lot, right? Yeah. Especially when they follow up 3 rounds, then you've won 6 out of 15 rounds almost just by winning pistols. You do it on both sides. So it's worth investing into them if you're a team.
And yes, it's a weakness CLG have highlighted themselves. They said it very close to this event, saying things to work on their checklist. pick up more pistol rounds, and work on retakes. So they know what they've got weakness. They know their weakness. They're aware of it. Obviously, so is the enemy team. So we're going to see that kind of dynamic and how that one plays out as well. And I think the teams are going to be very, very shortly going to kick this one off. And I mean, yeah, you're right. CLG, they've got a lot to think about because they know already off the back of that Titan loss. Well, I nearly said Titan loss. Titan win. The fantastic performance from Peter. I'm going to continue to remember their name. I mean, they were hyped. You could hear them when you were casting the previous game. You hear these Russian roars.
Yeah. It was really a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Oh, it was good. And I mean, the fact that this has happened the first game, and not even the broadcast game, like this is going to be 2 days of really, really good CS.
Yeah. Now, we do actually, speaking of D-Man, have him with Cloud9. It's nothing, but it's also a very dreamy Sean Gares. So take it away, D-Man.
Thank you very much, Anders and Alex. So obviously there's a bit of a break right now. CLG, Titan just setting up. Titan ran outside, so we're like, well, okay, they're going to be a while. You guys, first of all, you just watched this crazy match that just happened, the quadruple overtime. What was your thoughts on this game straight away? I mean, the Titan, Peter.
Oh, I was actually shocked because Peter had the lead the entire game. That was one thing that was really shocking to me is Titan could never really get their feet under themselves and take the lead in the match. And then eventually in that, whatever it was, fourth overtime, they finally sealed it with a 4-0. So I was surprised it went so deep.
Does this one work as well?
This one does
work.
work.
No, that was epic. That was epic. I was really surprised actually by the Russians. Titan definitely didn't look like themselves. Maybe they underestimated them, the standard case of that. But kudos to the Russians for trying that hard. That was pretty epic.
You just had a few loving words for Kenny a moment ago.
For Kenny, yeah. No, I love Kenny. He's a great player. It's insane.
So obviously they're going to be up against CLG. You guys know this team very well, North American comrades, I guess. How do you see this one going overall? It's on Dust2. It's going to be happening on.
Dust2 is Kenny's playground, so it really depends on who can get like that middle control early round on their defaults, and it's going to be Kenny against Peter, so it'll be awesome.
What about the CLG LDLC at Aspen, right?
Yeah.
So this is a map that they upset LDLC on. At the time, Kenny just peeked in because he hears me talking right now. He's scared. Kenny, how do you feel right now, bud? We'll see. He can hear me. I know he can.
Getting in his mind.
Getting in his mind. No, dude, I don't think he has to think much to do what he does. He's insane with his op shots. So, like he said, it comes down to probably Peter. If Peter's getting those picks, CLG could actually bring some pain. So, we'll see.
So, obviously, moving on to your own games tomorrow. You're up against InShock. Obviously, the Polish team, couple of subs. We've just seen Peter with a couple of subs. Is this suddenly making you look at this game a lot more seriously than you were before?
Yeah, honestly, like I saw especially the other Polish team playing earlier today, and I could hear the crowd. They were just so into it. So it's important that we start off on a good foot and kind of eliminate that crowd noise. So that's an important thing to note.
Yeah, I mean, they have some experience with them with Lord and Michu. Yeah. Michu's a great player, and I actually haven't seen much of Lord yet in this game, but he obviously has a lot of experience under his belt. So we definitely got to come in and just, bring our high intensity and not let the pistol round slip, ideally, and yeah, hopefully have a good game.
So how do you feel like you've prepared well for this? Obviously, like you mentioned, you've had that week in Denver doing MLG and ClutchCon. Do you feel like brought you together as a team to prepare for this one? Because obviously you had the change with Shazam coming in recently over Hiko.
Yeah, I think we're really a lot more well-versed on a bunch of maps now as opposed to one or two like we were at Aspen. We really focused on getting good at 4 or 5 maps for this event and really being able to control vetoes. It's a really important event for us, obviously, as it is every team here. And we're definitely looking to bring our A game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to Hayes earlier on and talking about the North American scene. Obviously talking about the hit you had recently with Talk Guys, etc., the iBuyPower. How do you feel the North American scene? Do you feel it's growing as a whole and leveling up essentially? Because obviously everybody always does the old EU versus North America, etc. Do you guys feel that the scene is growing, is getting better, is competitively?
Well, I think, messing up the rotation.
No, you take it.
Yeah, I think it's still growing. We definitely took a hit in the talent pool, and that affects our practice and all that stuff. But we have a lot of skill. I think it's just like an awareness thing. The more the exposure, like this is great for CLG and for Liquid, and if they qualify for the main event, like that's just gonna bring the level right back up. We definitely have a lot less tournaments as the Europeans, but that excuse is going away slowly. So I think we're still on the rise, but we obviously took a hit. There's no denying that. So, but I don't think we're going down by any means. It just might have slowed our progress a little bit.
And obviously, talking about your bracket again, you got Kaboom possibly could be up against you
Not
again.
playing him on Mirage. That's it.
As far as I know, you guys have actually been boot camping with these guys a little bit.
We played them a little bit when we were boot camping before ClutchCon. Yeah, we played them on a map cycle, and that was good. It was good to get them on another map other than Mirage and really just see how they can abuse rotations and just their style on different maps, because they do have that same style across all their maps. They're not only good on Mirage, they're good on other maps too, so that's a misconception with the team. They're great aimers, and yeah, I would really look forward to playing them again if we can get that.
If they could beat Mouse, of course. Anything else last you guys want to say to your fans? Obviously, you don't play till tomorrow, so you guys are effectively spectating this one.
No, I mean, thanks for all the support. We just made a Snapchat account. That would be pretty cool.
C9 CSGO.
C9 CSGO, yeah. I was making some snaps actually down at the dinner table.
We're
just
pretty
now,
shameless.
Or the lunch table downstairs.
PJ Salt.
PJ Salt on Shazam. That was my work of art.
Yeah. Thanks for the support, and keep tuning into ESL and get those viewership numbers growing for CS.
Well, thank you very much, guys. We'll be obviously getting back to the match that is happening. It's going to be the winner bracket 2, CLG versus Titan.
Closer over here at the casting desk, and obviously any second now.
Any second now.
Yeah, it is close, isn't it? We've got nearly everyone on the server. Dust2 is going to be the map of choice here, as everything else was banned out. And it's a pretty decent map. I think it was down between Dust2 and Nuke as well.
And you were unsure which you'd rather see.
Yeah, because I mean, Nuke is such a good map, but at the same time, best of one, it could be, you could end up with a map that's like 16-3 and that's it, it's all over. Whereas Dust2 probably going to wield a slightly more even result. And as Sean said, it's Kenny's playground, right? Running around with the AWP, shooting people. I think CLG have to come up with a way to stop that from happening, whether it be denying their economy so that they can't really afford one, or just coming up with different stats that involve leaving Kenny out of the loop somehow.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think you're right. I think Nuke was a risk that the teams weren't willing to take when in this best of one, and so going for something that they know, going for something they feel slightly more balanced on both sides. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Of course, the winner of this will advance. That's it. That's confirmed. They are going to the main event over on 12th to the 15th of March. So like, this is kind of not do or die, but this is a way for them to just take a deep breath and say, right, we're done. We've done it. Job done. I mean, it's a big deal for both these teams. Instead, they have to, if you lose this one, you've got to go back to the drawing board and start looking towards your deciding game. You have to start worrying a little bit again. There's something here for CLG that's worth noticing, and I think we're going to see that once they get to the T side. Whether they start there or not, we don't quite know yet, but if they get to start on the T side, they're going to want some mid-control early on, and they're probably going to play that exactly like every other team in the world does, which just means going, upper dark and just checking long, and then, ending up in the middle somewhere as you got some control. And that's a relatively easy task to accomplish when you're on the T side, except sometimes when you're playing against some of these teams, like a team with Kenny in it. And another example would be Shox as well, who plays really aggressively on the NV team towards middle. You can end up in some really weird positions where actually just getting into where your normal game starts is hard, right? So you end up focusing on the wrong part of the game, because all of a sudden you're worried about even getting mid-control. How do you not get sniped by Kenny? And then if you have a plan that starts with mid-control, right? Maybe the plan, and some strategies do start off like this. Let's just see if we can get control of short, and then once we have that, we'll make up our minds, right? And then, if you can't even do that, because all of a sudden you've lost 2 players doing it, it gets really tricky. So I hope CLG have thought long enough ahead that they have like a plan B in case the normal game doesn't even work, because that could definitely happen. Yeah, so basically they're kind of, something they can look towards is basically taking integral parts away from Titan. Taking a couple of those cogs away, stopping the machine from rolling, and it's a great strategy, because you think about it, Titan very reliant. We saw it over on Cash. The rounds they picked up were mostly there and abouts. Obviously, there were a few not, but they seemed to be given rounds. As soon as they got onto a site, whenever you give Titan a site, they get those 2 picks that you were talking about. They rarely let that retake happen. And so that's something I think CLG, if they can take away, like you said already, that mid-control, anything that they look for early, take that away, then suddenly they have to take their time and start thinking about what can we do now. Yeah. Something else that's really worth noticing about Titan is how interestingly they hold the B-bomb site. Once they get to the CT side, and again, we're not quite sure which side they're going to start off, but once they get there, they have a really, really cool way of holding B-bomb site, especially when it comes to the B-split, which so many people know.
So not going to go over the detail too much because you guys already know what I'm talking about roughly. But the Titan have a nice way of simply smoking off the doors and even sometimes molotoving the doors. And then they mainly focus on holding window. And sometimes you even see Existence simply falling back and actually going aggressive in upper dark. So, which seems like really counterintuitive, right? There's a push, there's an attack coming in from middle. So you just kind of ignore middle, then you kill whoever's in upper dark. And then that actually works out really well. It's a very,
then
very
you know
cool
where
strategy.
everyone else is. Yeah.
They know where everyone else is, and all of a sudden, the terrorists who were going for like a two-pronged attack are now only just coming in from one very, very narrow chokehold, which is up in the B. You know, they're trying to rush through the windows at B, which is like, you know, the
scary
tiniest point on the map, right? Trying to get a whole team through that is not easy. So, yeah, I think Titan have a lot of really cool setups like that. It's going to be down to, I think, the pressure on CLG here to come up with something really special.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no doubt about that whatsoever. CLG, we've said it once, we'll say it again, take something away from Titan early. You're hoping that they've done the preparation to anticipate what Titan are going to throw at them, which I think is fair to assume. They must have looked at the group, looked at the brackets and thought, chances are we're going to see Titan. They probably didn't anticipate the result from the Titan game, but still, they're against the opponent they probably expected to, and I'm sure they've done the necessary preparations, but you're right, taking it away from Titan, and also maybe I think it's going to come down to individual aim. Obviously, Kenny S, that's the only one man. Apex had some fantastic play over on Cash. He's the opening fragger, and he was doing just that. When he got the opening frags, the rounds were coming in for Titan. So yeah, shutting down the individuals, and we'll see where that one gets them.
I mean, Peter really has like a big job on his hands here. Not only does he have to try and orb out Kenny, but also to try and outstrat Existence. That's like a lot to put on one person. So we'll hope that he has some good backup in his teammates so he doesn't have to carry it all on his own. In the meantime, I think we are just about getting ready. So a little bit of a break before we got into it because it did take a while for everyone to get on. But now we should be ready here. So it's CLG versus Titan. This is the ESL One Katowice qualifier here, and of course Amanda's with me is Machine or Alex, if you prefer.
I'm Alex Machine.
Alex Machine.
No, either or, but yeah, going into this one, here we go. Knife round, you've already said that probably going to be wanting to see Titan, going to be looking to perhaps secure that CT side, get Kenny S on that orb there as well. I mean, I'm not a big fan of casting the knife rounds, but this one does mean a bit of a lot for both these teams.
It could get very interesting, and it's Peter S, and you gotta notice that S right there. He ends up quad killing the team, but yeah, Peter S, he's ready for it, and I saw that Kenny noticed it earlier, said I appreciate that. So there's already a little bit of love going on here between the two rivaling snipers. Yeah,
I mean, it's love, it's also respect. I mean, Peter, he's strong, he's a big presence on that orb, especially, you know, in the NA scene, and so yeah, he's a respect. He's admitting that Kenny is a monster, and I think everyone is well aware of that. So yeah, making that monster, cutting that monster down to size is going to be a big part of CLG's game plan, as well as, of course, I mean, you said it already, pressure on Peter. I mean, NA teams, they tend to be more likely to have the more close to tilt than some EU teams. I don't know if that's a fair assumption to say, but
no, I would say so. I mean, they, especially because they lack an experience. I think that's like the main thing. They just have less lands to go to and less top teams to play against. So in that sense, yeah, they're going to have a harder time not tilting, as it were. But they also tend to be very aggressive, which is actually interesting because a lot of the French teams are too. So, I mean, American-French matchup could be some action going into it here. And we are just about ready. Have fun. Good luck. It's been cold as well. I think that's Cutler we've got on the camera. Getting ready. And the whole Cloud9 team is here, just watching everyone setting up and getting ready.
Here we go.
CLG starting on the CT side. Will be Titan on the terrorist side now. Very slow, very casual start coming out from Titan. Absolutely nothing flashy. Just like we talked about, checking up a dark, going down as lower, and then, you know, covering long, and eventually they're going to meet up in the middle and figure out where to go from there.
Yeah, you can see just taking their time. No way they're going to be overextending just yet. Titan, obviously, of course, it is in their court. They have the chance to set the pace for this round, and they look to be taking it nice and slow. Maniac, first one probably going to be caught. Actually, it's Kenny caught out by Cutler. Nothing going to connect just yet, though. And CLG, they've spread themselves out quite standardly. You can see Maniac is trying to do something around doors. Just going to throw that smoke out. You can see the bomb and the Titan side starting to turn their attention to it.
You know, who's pushing up a dog? Is that Peter already trying to make a move? It is. This is such a lot of information for CLG. He's actually scouting himself. He's the leader, but he's also finding all the intel that they need. This is such a big play. Tarek going to take down Apex, and Peter's behind him. I think they realize Existence. They're going to flash down and try and catch him here. Peter getting overwhelmed, but he gets the one kill in, and that's huge. That's more than he should have got. Now they're going to rotate back to B, and Titan, they're a man down, but they will probably get in here before the rotation comes in.
It's close. Fenez is just going to get to the spot if he can. He can't quite connect the USP shot, though. And all of a sudden, Hayes does get to join the party. 3 Ts up against 2 defensive members, and it's just going to be back and forth. They have the numbers, but time is against them. Bomb goes down. 4v3 in CLG. They need to retake this site.
Oh, good job from Kenny there, getting the one in, looking for a little bit more. It's going to be a double kill from Kenny. He drops Hayes, then it's Tarek and Cutler left, and Tarek coming up from behind here. RPK taking a fight, and he's going to win it as well. Maniac with the kill in between on Titan. I think a part of that round at least is won by them discovering Peter and Lower Dark. Even though I got the kill, which is so good, they actually made the decision to rotate back to be incredibly fast. That was on point.
Yeah, and he made such a good point. He said he's got so much information already. He didn't even necessarily need to show himself. He knew where they were going. He knew where they weren't going. And it didn't quite come together for them for CLG. And now we can see actually just the scout picked up from Peter. Wants to take a couple of weapons away from the Titan side. Not quite going to connect over the smoke. Did get boosted up. And instead he's going to back away. But he has revealed that that buy has come in. And looks like Titan, once again, going to do exactly the same thing. Rinse and repeat. And see if they can get that second round on the board.
Out the middle for Titan. They didn't want to fight too long against the scout. But Tarek is there. Gets to the kill on Apex. Has time to reload here, 5-7, very powerful. Finesse also chiming in. Tarek drops the bomb here. Now it's a double, now it's a triple. Tarek! Oh, you gotta be kidding. Now it's down to Maniac, 1v3 here. Out into the middle with the AK in hand. He's gonna get overwhelmed. That's a quad kill from Tarek with a 5-7. That is a nice way to shut down your opponent.
Oh, Tarek, starting as he means to go on. 2 rounds in now, and you can see already on the replay, just Tarek just eliminating the competition. And that's just going to be a little reminder saying, okay, Titan, you got the first. You're not going to get the second so easy. And that's going to be in the buy coming in. A couple of FAMAS as well picked up for CLG.
I look at the reply from Titan. That's 3 scouts being purchased already. Finesse going to take down Maniac, who wanted to peek out there. But the scouts are still in play. And the sooner CLG realize this, the sooner they should start grouping up together and really play this safely. Like, no reason to peek anywhere. Let them come closer.
Now they realize, oh, Hayes takes down RPK, scout the M4, M4 prevails, and now Apex could be meeting a similar fate. He's not careful, he goes down Peter with the AK in hand, and now CLG just picking apart the French side. Exchange from Finesse, taking a couple of chunks away from Existence health bar, and Titan, they're looking a bit wounded. 2 players remain.
Good teamwork there. Finesse not actually committing to it until he's got coverage, and they flash him in. He did go down to Existence, but he's going to die in just about any second. So that's also a really good sign, because Finesse could have tried to go for like both the frags and just said, you know, I want a little bit more on the scoreboard here. But he got flashed in by a teammate instead, and that's the safe way of doing it.
I think safe is going to be a word that CLG are going to be saying a lot. Chill, safe, be cool. They've got this kind of very cool essence around them in game. They can see they're taking their time, and the fact that they've already picked up these next 2, you can see Peter already when he cuts to a camera, he's just reminding his team to just not get ahead of themselves and play each round like a new one. He's picked up the orb, he's surely going to connect the shot. He didn't. The crouch just evading that one. Kenny going to be showing Peter how it's done with the dance moves, and you can just see P250s in hand. Titan is going to look to try and take some weapons away.
It's definitely the best that they could do at the moment. Bit of a shame that Peter didn't hit that shot, but not the end of the world. Especially because he saw that they have just pistols, so he knows that there's no like weird force-up going on, which there shouldn't be at any rate.
With 3 scouts, would there be anything?
No, there wouldn't be. That would be suicide for Titan. I mean, they might be pressured into doing something desperate here.
Yeah, you can see CLG position themselves in that 3-2 splits. Tarek and Hayes going to be holding steady on that B site. And I mean, yeah, you can see they're kind of trying to find an avenue, trying to find a route in towards one of these sites. Getting that bomb down would be a nice chunk of change for them.
Yeah. Now, they do have one guy up in the middle, actually, so no smoke means they're sort of going to go in a little bit silent here. They're just going to try and walk around the corner, but as soon as they see anyone, they're definitely just going to go, because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense. And here they go, lining it up, and they'll take down Hayes. Tarek here actually has to stay alive for a little bit, and that Molotov is going to help him massively doing just that. So that's actually just a very big purchase there, because if they just rush him down, they can end up losing the round. Now Tarek's got backup coming in very quickly here. He's going to get Maniac first, and now as they're rushing in, the backup is there. Tarek doesn't even need it. It's now a triple kill, and Kenny will fall. Tarek with another quad kill. Oh my god, putting himself at 9-0-1. Very good round for him.
9-0-1. Tarek, he's done it once, he does it again already. That B site is his own at the moment, and he's showing us how to do it, teaching us how to defend B. And yes, it was against Nico, but still, Tarek, he did it with a pistol himself, and now he's teaching them. He can't do it. They can't do it with a pistol now. So going into this 3-1, Katowice Gaming responding to Titan's first round with quite a good show. But we do see the first buy coming up from Titan now. Ooh, where are they going? You can see they're going a bit more aggressive. There's a bit of a change of pace from the Titan side. As Peter darting away from that one, fluffs his flash. That is not ideal, and he tries to seize it. Apex doesn't connect the shot. Diving down was not perhaps the best idea, as now Existence does get chunked just a little bit. They know he's around somewhere. Peter, exchange of fire, knocks him out. That's too worse for wear. The smoke is going to be obscuring their vision. Finesse and Peter chime in with frags, and all of a sudden Kenny and RPK are the only two remaining members.
This is rough. Kenny's got the bomb over here. He's going to get Molotov down in the corner. He gets the kill, but it's too late. RPK also went down in the meantime. And that will be a very clean round from CLG. I do love the idea of really aggressive push-up short like that. And I actually think if they had committed to it, it would have been even better. But the fact that they slowed down like that gave CLG just enough time. And then they obviously lost the initial battle there. Apex, I don't think he was expecting to catch two people there, which is unusual. Normally you'd only find one at that point. So I think he got a little bit overwhelmed by that as well. Now they're going to try and go out long. And Cutler, instead of fighting, again, safe and smart here, going to fall back and just wait. And that's what he has to do. Good double here and almost a triple.
Wow, Apex he actually invested into a deagle, didn't manage to take anything with it though, and finally Peter does fall from Kenny S. Kenny S is going to take that one with a smile on his face. It's all he can pick up though, as CLG, that's a 4 frags for Finesse, as Titan, they're back to the buy, they got 5-1 now. CLG, they're starting to look like this cool, calm, collected side that we know they can be.
Right, so in the past we would have said this is a terror-sided map. Right now, I feel like Titan could be alright getting around 6 rounds on the T side. It's not a great if they should have like a really good first half. We're looking at like 8 rounds or something like that. But they can actually probably do with 6. So yeah, it's not looking great. But I don't think Titan are completely panicked yet. And Kenny's got his second op of the game.
It's going to be all. We've highlighted this matchup before. We haven't quite seen it just yet. Peter maybe not giving him the chance to take him out just yet, but this could be it. Xbox going for the pick, he gets it! One out by Kenny, and he's looking for more.
That's how they need to use Kenny, whereas last time when he got the kill with the AWP, he was basically the last man standing. You want him in there first, you want an opening up, especially on Dust. You need him to get those kills, and they did the exact same thing on Cash multiple times. Finesse flashed in and playing at the edge of the smoke. There's 3 people waiting here. He's got the M4 in hand, gonna take down one, he sees more coming. Finesse almost with the double kill. Cutler gonna try and see if he could pick it up here. Molotov is out, but he goes down. That was a pre-fire from Maniac. Cutler walking into the AK bullet. Beautiful kill. And now Apex wants to see if he can follow it up here. Clean kill. Taking down Hazed, and this is looking good for Titan.
Yeah, it looks like can try and keep hold of the AWP. I don't think he can. Existence snatches that one away from him, and another round on the board for Titan. A clean round, and no shock to us. Kenny S started that one off. Picks up the opening frag, and immediately CLG started looking a little bit worse for wear. I mean, that's what we expected. We know Titan rely. Well, don't rely. I may want to take that one back, but they definitely focused their strategy around open pitch from Kenny. Oof, that was not too close, or not too far away. Is now Kenny looking for more. Not quite connecting the bullets this time, but backing away with full health bar, so he hasn't lost too much. He does make his position known, but that's not going to cost him too much just yet.
They'll be alright here. I mean, interesting that they actually did steal the second AWP then. You know, that also means their play is going to be revolving a little bit around that. So I'm actually surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually end up going out long. I kind of wish they would long or short. Whereas going for the B split push with 2 AWPs, it's just a little bit more difficult. It's definitely not impossible, but it just makes it a little bit less likely here. Kenny sneaking up. And he's going to take a crouch up there. Oh, Peter down to 20 health. If they could just get a follow-up grenade here. They've got him jumping down into the slope. It's going to be Apex to take down Cutler. And Kenny, there's the grenade. Peter is gone. And it's down to Finesse over here by the car. Waiting, and Maniac is coming through. He's going to take him down. No contest at all. So Tarek and Hayes, they actually just have to save their rifles at this point. Not much else they can do. And it did end up being a push to the A-bomb site. Long and short, just much better where they don't these.
Yeah, each member of Titan picking up and doing his bit. You can see Kenny, Maniac, and Apex picking those ones up. You can actually CLG do manage to take a couple of weapons away, but still, credit where credit is due. And like Hayes, doesn't go down just yet. RPK taken down as well as he's backing away from that one. And so CLG, that's going to put it to 5-3. And that double up worked out for them. Existence didn't do too much. In fact, hasn't picked up a kill just yet. Instead, he's just going to be having that one for the next round. And so just Kenny and Existence sitting back, waiting for this round to come to a close.
He's going to be surviving, which is a little bit of a silver lining for CLG. but also a little bit scary now that you see Titan starting to pick it back up and get those entry frags. And I love the way that Kenny positioned himself like that. Just normally you see people actually strafing into that angle. Instead, he occupied the angle while ducked, and then he just stands up and takes the shot. Very cool stuff. Double up down the middle, not going to connect with anybody, which is good news. CLG, they made the buy happen. Maniac spraying furiously.
Wow.
He will go down to Cutler.
And look, I did very little damage to CLG, really. Finesse a tiny bit tagged up, or licked, who were at CLG. And going into this, Tarek has picked up one to B. And I mean, Titan, every time they chance it, every time they consider pushing on towards the B site, you just see Tarek put them back in their place as they're going to be pushing way back. Bomb. He's hanging around the doors area. You can see Cutler just rattling off a couple of bullets through the smoke, try and find something. And now there's 1 minute on the clock. Titan have so much time to play with, but they know 5 members of CLG standing. They want to kind of cut that down before they even consider a push to a site.
Yeah, I think B-side is definitely the better push here. Kenny opening up. Now they can smoke it off here. They have to take a risk as they're a man down, and walking into middle like that definitely is risky. But it's paid off just now. Kenny's going to miss the second shot, and they hear someone in CT spawn. 45 seconds left. The bomb is in upper darken. Gonna go with it. Are they gonna try and fake it out, or are they gonna put Existence back here? He's slowly walking back, but they might get intercepted by Cutler. He's gonna walk up. Perfect timing. Sprays a little bit too much, but he can still find RPK. Lucky there was no one else there to return it. Kenny alone now. Is Existence gonna get caught here? And not much of a chance for him. Best he could do is get a couple of kills in at the end, but he's gonna go down. Cutler coming in with a perfect backstab that round. 3 kills for him.
That's good communication for CLG. That is exactly what that was. CLG just kind of communicating, realizing, doing their maths, cutting their fingers out and counting 1, 2, 3. They're in lower, they're in upper. And I mean, they were so cautious. They knew the presence of Tarek on that site. They really did not want to walk into him. There were smokes trying to delay them, but he's sat on 12-3 at this moment in time. And Peter wins out on the scope battle. Great play from the American scope. He's looking for more.
And he actually has Kenny's magic stick as well, so this is definitely very good. I think some people were calling Peter like the magician over at MLG as well, so maybe there's something to it here. Maybe it's meant to be. They get the 2 opening frags as Tarek is also going to help out, and it's down to Maniac and Apex and Existence. And once again, you know, when you're 2 people down like this, you can't just play like your normal game. That doesn't even make sense. So you got to try something else. And getting an entry frag out on long would be great, but Peter going to pick up the second kill here to take down Maniac, and this is looking great for CLG.
He's everywhere. First picking him up mid, then immediately getting his bum in gear to get over towards long. Picked up 2 already. Tarek's done 1 as well, and now just 2 members remain, Apex and Existence. And I think they're maybe looking to take something. You can see Apex being cautious. They're going to push onto this.
Bit of a spray from Cutler again, not connecting as much as he wanted. Apex going to take him down. There's still another 2v4 and there's only 30 seconds left. Apex going to pick up a double kill, goes for long. Now it's a triple, and that's a lot of work put in from Apex here. In Existence, 25 seconds, 1v2. 11 bullets left in that M4. And he realizes Finesse was somewhere down there, but he's not exactly sure where. Now he's going to get caught by Hazed up on Catwalk there. So tough position here for the Belgian in-game leader. He's going to put us at 7-3. I kind of wish that Titan would do like some more crazy stuff when there are 2 people down like that. I'd like to see them go for a little bit more. But I think that push out middle of the previous round was definitely much better.
I think you're right. I think that's a good fallback for them. It did throw CLG a little bit off kilter. So that's going to be interesting to see. Peter's doing this again. Worked for him previously, trying to get a pick onto Kenny, and Kenny didn't quite connect the pistol shot. That could have scared him away. It does. And so it's smoking that one out, backing away from short. In the meantime, Tarek doing what Tarek does best, takes Kenny down already. First blood is drawn, and now you can just see 4 members from Titan, just P250s in hand, and they are going to be cowering and just watching that clock tick away.
Peter put back up there again. Titan just hanging out in the middle. And as soon as CLG realized that this is just pistols they're fighting against, you see how passively they're playing. I mean, somewhat of a forward position, I think, by Cutler up here, but it's still very, very safe because you can just take 1 step to the right and you're going to be down in CT spawn instead. And this is how you want to play. You don't want to get rushed down by a Tech-9, even though there isn't one right now, but it could have been. You want to stay at distance and just take a fight here. So, a little bit too much of a fight here, actually, for Cutler. He's going to end up being all right, but Finesse goes down. They could have played it even safer than that. Good kills coming in from Peter and Cutler at the end. And 8-3. So, if this keeps up, it could be a very bad first half for Titan, but it's definitely not lost yet. And the money right now on CLG mean that basically if they win a couple of rounds in a row here, Titan, they're going to be in a decent position. They could get back to those 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah, that was the target you set. You said minimum 6. The Titan will be nodding and okay with that. And yep, halfway there already. But CLG, this is the momentum they need. We said they needed to start strong, and this certainly is it. If they pick this round up again, they're going to be really knocking Titan down a peg. You can see Kenny Downs picked up the AWP. No head armor though. You can see they're looking to take their time. A whole minute 20 on the clock, and they're just looking for that pick through mid. I don't think it's going to be given to them this time. I think CLG have learned from their mistakes, and instead positioning Peter in this kind of lone wolf position over on long. And Titan, they like this short play.
They do, and actually checking short is hugely important regardless, because if you're going to go for a B-split push, you have to make sure no one's on short. If you don't check that first, you're probably going to get flanked really quickly, and that could definitely ruin everything. So regardless, you want to try and force the CTs back from short. But right now, if they went for a B-split, definitely a great setup that's going on here with CLG, wow. But they're almost all going up at dark. Look at this, and Hayes hiding in the corner. He's going to need backup regardless. He can't do this all on his own. Not with this rifle. Flash their way in. He's going to go for it, but RPK will take him down. That's the problem. There was no one there to distract them. Tarek, really good kill coming in, but now they should be smoking off the doors so they can actually get in and get the bomb down. Tarek here still with another free angle. Finally, the smoke goes down for Titan. It's a little bit late in the game, but it's better than nothing. Now it's a 4v4 retake coming in from CLG, and look how far they are away as the bomb goes down. Half of them are actually still in the A bomb site. Finesse, what is he doing? Charging through, gets the kills, and Tarek helping out as well. Existence gonna go down. Tarek with a triple, Finesse with a double kill. He just took that all on his own. They pushed through before the full rotation when he was there. That's a huge risk, and it paid off just like a jackpot.
Unbelievable stuff. I mean, that was not a push you would expect. I don't know, really, Titan were just kind of thinking that is not going to happen. Unfortunately for Titan, it did caught them off guard, and suddenly, I said it was an important round, CLG 9-3 going into this one. AWP once again in the hands of Peter, not so much for Kenny. Money a little tight for the Titan side.
Those are the kind of rounds I really expect Titan not to lose, because they're so well structured normally, so that's actually a big upset. They got the smoke down, they never got the smoke up a window, but there was the smoke through doors that Finesse ran through, and speaking of him, he gets the first kill in, but he's going to get overrun. Cutler though, picking off, and right now they're just trading left and right, but it looks like Titan are coming out on top. Peter gonna miss the shot, and he falls back into CT spawn. Realizes it isn't worth it, and he's absolutely right. Hazed and him, they could retake this side. Titan have planted for long, and I think they have got RPK down there as well. But it's not the best plan in the world, and if CLG can get up here and take control of short, it's definitely doable.
Peter needs to connect the shot, though doesn't quite connect. He seems to be kind of aware of Apex positioning, and it looks like CLG have made a decision. Looks to be perhaps a wise one to get away, try and connect on. They do onto Apex, and so they level out the numbers. But still, time ticking away. Bomb soon to explode, and I think they risk to be backing away from that one. He's not going to quite connect the bullets he needed to. CLG, they managed to level it out, managed to take another weapon away from the Titan side, but still, convincing assault from Titan. Kind of catching CLG out a little bit with that one.
And that's good, but because they kind of flunked the last round, it means that CLG, especially saving the rifles here, they can still buy. If they got the last round and this one, then it would have sparked an eco on the CLG side, and they would have bounced up to 5 rounds instead now, or 6 rounds actually, so now they're at 4 instead. So this is a really, really big difference in the game, and CLG should consider themselves a little bit fortunate that Titan couldn't hold that B bomb site. Now double AWP setup though, and Tarek being one of the AWPers, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's not what we were anticipating. So it's interesting to see how Tarek plays this one, considering how, I mean, instrumental he's been on holding that site. In the meantime, though, Cutler is kind of surrounded by enemies. He's looking to take at least 1 or 2 with it. They don't know he's there. For some reason, they didn't check Existence. Swings around, picks it up, and Maniac does the same. CLG are falling. They're fleeting numbers. Just Hazed remains. He snatches the AWP away from his teammate, and now just looking to take a couple more heads with him. Oh my lord, that wasn't too far off. There's one just behind the doors, and RPK does wrap that one up, 9-5. And wow, just losing 1 man. Titan looking strong.
Very good round. I think they can feel the pressure starting to mount. They realize that this has to work out for them. And the 15th round, sadly for CLG, they are left with, what, 2 5.7s, 2 from Arson, 1 C-75. There were a bunch of Molotovs in their hands. But equipment-wise, it's not exactly great. So this could finish 9-6. And again, that's not amazing for Titan playing T-side Dust2. It's definitely not, but it could be enough. A lot's going to come down to the pistol round here. And Titan, you have the default setup going on here. Again, covering upper, covering lower dark, and obviously long as well. Very standard stuff. Apex making its way into the middle is the first sign of aggression for Titan. But in the meantime, look at the upper dark push coming through from CLG. I love this.
Yeah, need I remind you what Tarek did with the 5-7 last time. 4 kills, he's going to try and do it again. RPK could be in a better position, but Hazed is there. RPK down, and suddenly Apex looking to fill his shoes. Perhaps do a little better. As they are pushing on the CTs, just backing away from that one. Their aggression did pay off already, knocking the numbers down to 4. I mean, Titan are aware that this isn't a bite from the CT side, but they have armor. They have got a few shaky weapons full of FAMAS. Tarek darting away from that one with his life.
Oh, Hazed actually gets the kill on Apex. Kenny finally going to take him down. Finesse coming up from behind Existence is going to fall. It will be down to Maniac, and well, just Maniac now as Kenny dies, but he's going to get the 1 kill in, and that will be it. 10-5, and CLG prevail. And that was actually not an easy round necessarily to win for CLG, because Titan did something that is a little bit rare, but it's always like a real delight to see it happen. And that's a slow push into B where you actually don't throw any grenades at all. Because the number one sort of indicator that it's going to be anything going on to B is obviously the first smokes and flashes going in. So sometimes if you just walk in, you're going to be undetected and no one will know you're coming. And that's actually what almost happened. And Hayes just, just quick enough at the end and got the 1 kill in before he went down. So that's very important. That could have been a really dangerous round, I think, for CLG. But Titan, 10-5, I don't know, Machine. I think this could be scary. I'm not sure 5 is enough rounds. I think 6 was just,
yeah, the Anders target, and you have highlighted it was a shaky target. You said they would be okay. That's not good. That's not great. They'd be okay with 6. They didn't even get there. 10-5 on the half. And now CLG, especially if they pick up this pistol, are going to be forcing a very scary situation onto Titan.
We're going to probably end up relying on Kenny again here on the Titan team. I think that's the big thing. Maniac, though, very aggressive push, and this is good, but now Apex gets smoked off. He's going to run through a miscommunication on Titan here. A big indication that just happened, and that was not a good call there, because Maniac was going to fall back as the smoke came up, and Apex thought, well, I'm going to come and help you as the smoke goes off, because otherwise I'm smoked off. Maniac playing at the edge and the smoke here. Look at how hard it is for him to see anything. CLG, are they going to go for it? Kenny falls back up there, and they're going to wrap around long at the same time. CLG want this A-bomb site. Maniac going to get the 1 kill in, looks for more, but he can't. Hazed will go and get the kill on him. Tarek drops Existence, and now Kenny's going to fall. That's Hazed with a triple kill at the end. Absolutely stunning round from him.
Wow, Titan. He said that pistol round was important. They threw out so many nades. You can see they just bought up, trying to stack it, slow down the CLG side, but they just were happy to wait it out. And now 11-5. And Titan realized the pressure is on. You can see a couple of CZs, even nades invested in from Apex, spending what they can to try and knock CLG down. But looks like CLG have got a bit of a game plan here. You can see bomb now in the hands of Hazed, and RPK Existence ready to receive.
Titan not going for armor. This is weird. Look, if you look at the scoreboard, half their team has bought and half of them haven't. I'm really wondering what's going on here. Could be that
is it an AWP? Is it they want Kenny with an AWP next round?
Yeah, or maybe even a double AWP. I'm just wondering what this is. Existence, well, it can't be next round. One more over that. Existence, good pick off here, but time to reload is so long, and he ends up going down. It's a nice attempt to double stack the box like that. Now, Maniac, Kenny, and Apex, though, there's not a lot you can do here. Getting extra franks, and more especially getting rifles away and stealing them for the next round, that's the big goal here.
So it's the hunt is on now for Titan. Looking for these American weapons. Oh, Maniac's got his eyes on one. He wants to take Finisse's weapon away to chunks him down to 50. Of course, he has that armor. Kenny has back him up. That's 1 Galil now added to the Titan roster. Kenny does it again. Bullet into Peter now. That's 2 weapons now loose. And he's going to be snatching that one away. And Titan, they've added to their arsenal for the next round.
That's really critical here. They got to make sure that they all stay alive with it. And look like Tarek could have walked up behind someone down in CT spawn as well. I think Apex is taking a fight, and yes, he is, but Cutler will end up winning it. So it's only going to be the 2 rifles saved here, which is still very good. And that actually could probably force Titan to buy up here. The fact that they saved 2. It's not 100%, but they might have just enough to make it work. Are they going to risk it or not? They're clearly having a discussion here, but yeah, they're going to end up not doing it.
Let's see, Scout picked up from Peter. Got the Scout. Doesn't quite connect just yet. And instead, he's going to be heading on back down towards mid. You can see they have just those weapons that they managed to pick up. The armor as well for Maniac and Kenny, trying to protect those weapons as best they can. And Tarek is on the prowl. Doesn't quite commit the first bullet. Does onto Apex. Oh, Finesse is there as well. And Titan, they're going to start crumbling, and these rounds and kills just keep coming in for CLG. This is looking like 13. RPK in existence, very little to their name, and they're just going to try and do something. They can't really manage it, can't scrape together anything, and that's going to be 13 on the board for CLG, and 3 rounds away from qualifying for Katowice.
That's exactly right. Tarek, I mean, I think I said initially I wanted him to get more frags, and right now he's at 22, currently top fragging, miles ahead of everyone else. Finesse second in place with 16, and then drops down to Hayes at 13. But then we have to look all the way down to 11, Maniac, and then Kenny on 10. I mean, Titan, they save now twice. They didn't force it last round, which they maybe could have. They went for the double up setup, and none of them have any armor, so it's 2 glass cannons here. This is Titan's plan to get back into the game, and it is one that's worked many times for them in the past, but I think this is going to be quite an exceptional comeback if they can make it work. This
is do or die for Titan. They want to wrap this up now. They've already struggled to get their first win under their belt, and this second one is not going to come any easier. 13-5 in this round. They've invested so very heavily. Kenny, glass cannon number 1 is around. Existence just going to be holding steady as well. You can see this is the first push. Maniac clicks 1, gets a second as well. 2 CLG members down as Finesse finally shuts down that presence. And it seems to be back and forth, and Apex with another one. Kenny doing his best with the ult, but now he's down 3-2. Taking Kenny away, looking to take Tarek as well. Doesn't quite have the ammo. It's the problem with the M4 silence, and now RPK does wrap it up beautifully, and Titan, the risk does net the reward just about. Managed to maintain just one of the 2 AWPs and pick up that 6th round.
Good job, RBK, bringing that round back. And there was a moment of hesitation there. You could tell Apex actually thought, for just a millisecond, he thought, I'm going to jump out into the pit and be safe. And then he thought, wait a minute, if I do that and I get shot, that's bad. And then he wanted to run back. And then he actually got caught between pit and Longhouse. And that was a really awkward situation. That could have ended very badly for Titan. RPK stepping up and earning his spot just a little bit here. Kenny charging through, very aggressive, and Maniac goes down. It's Tarek on the prowl, getting both those entry kills over at Long. And that was Titan attempting to switch it up a little bit, just try and flip the switch and see if they could catch them off guard. Counter flash out here, Apex goes down, it's Tarek. 3rd headshot in line. He's looking for RBK in existence. You can tell he's on the hunt now. He wants it. They know they've already won this round. Now it's just down to making sure Titan can't save anything. And Titan are going to be plain broke if they lose this round.
27 frags. Tarek, he's only died 7 times. He is really performing this offline event. See, flashed him up with Finesse. He wants to take that weapon away from RPK. He's not going to give it easily, though, as he takes that down. And now he's the RPK clutching onto his M4 as his existence onto his AWP. And they're just going to try and back away from that. I think they have managed to get away with those, and a very necessary commitment from Titan to keep those weapons safe. Oh, Peter. You might be able to catch existence away, take that AWP away, and that's a big deal.
Yeah. And the money, well, actually the money on CLG is not amazing either, so can't blame them for not sort of throwing everything away to get those last rifles in there. Existence has an AWP, RPK has an M4, and Titan have their backs against the wall, so much so that they actually try and force it up here. This time they're going to do it. Last time they didn't. This time they feel like it's now or never. Kenny with the AWP, and he gets the frag on Peter at the middle. He was flashed. What we sometimes refers to as the Smith's flash in there, just putting it over and then peeking right as it pops. Very tricky stuff. Peter, he's been so good today, but they're just a little bit slower this time.
Yeah, so I think it's 2-1 in terms of scope battles. We haven't had too many on Dust. We said it was going to be battle of the scopes, and both have really been giving it their all. Kenny hasn't been sitting at the top of the scoreboard, which is a surprise, considering what we highlighted before is that if Titan don't have Kenny at the top of the scoreboard, how well will they fare? Already CLG answering that question for us. 14-6, looking to advance again. You can see 4-5 numbers are favoring the Titans side, but of course Maniac just has a P250 and body armor to his name, so he's not particularly in too good of a situation. But CLG, they have 56 seconds to make a choice, and to you, this looks to be shaping up through it. Maybe like maybe a short play. Actually, I was going to say mid to B. You can see those 2 players hanging around long doors. Yeah. Going to do something. Kenny does it though. Takes down Cutler. Another frag for him. And Maniac now backing away. He's revealed his lack of weapon, and they're just going to pressure him.
Kenny, really good kill coming in, looking for a 3rd one. Actually a 4th one, but he's going to miss the kill once again. And just a little bit too soon. Finesse will take him down. Should still be a great round for Titan. Actually, they need to get close and pick up this AWP. They need to make sure they can get it. Finesse, is he going to steal it and put it somewhere else? All right. If he actually just throws this away, I'm really, really curious if that's going to be the case, because that would be such a smart move from him. He's going to take Apex down, so being a very expensive round here for Titan, without a doubt. 9 seconds, right? He's gonna save it, and they won't really be able to catch him if he stays pit, I think.
RPK wants to challenge. Oh no, he's not. He's not going to take that risk, and it's not a risk really Titan can afford to make at this point. There's another round now on the board for CLG.
So even when Titan win the round, it's still not really worth celebrating. They lose 3 members, they lose the AWP, and they can't afford to rebuy it. And CLG have a lot of rounds to play with, so that's actually a bit tricky. Finesse, speak of the devil, he actually gets the close B spawn, and they might end up running for it, though. Titan have 3 people here. He's waiting for someone to jump up, and he's going to miss the first shot there. A lot of people inside B here for Titan, but it's Pizza to open up on Existence.
That's a good opening frag. They're looking for something, trying to whittle down the CT side, and RPK, kind of, I think maybe that's forced them to rotate, but Maniac may be ready. CLG about to jump into the clutches of Maniac. Instead, though, his position is revealed, and he's just going to have to back away from that one. Doesn't want to get caught out. As now 5-4. Here comes Kenny S, though, picks up one, does it with an AWP, does it with a FAMAS, and eventually does get shut down by Tarek. And now Titan looking to do the same again. Numbers don't favor them, nor does Maniac's health, but he's going to try his best to find something. There's that bomb, and the CLG side are on their way through mid, take down Apex on the way. And now all falling, and it's all looking horrible for RPK. He's got a whole lot of kills to pick up. He can't. Tarek picks another, and all of a sudden CLG, they've got a big bundle of match points.
There's no money left on Titan either. They could buy an AWP for Kenny, and that's what they choose to do, but this is a disaster. CLG, though, they're playing a high-level game right now. Tarek, 1 kill away from the 30 bomb. And they've got maybe a couple of rounds to do with here. Kenny gonna peek into the middle, and this is what I started talking about. Sometimes Kenny is gonna play this aggressively to try and just throw you off, but they never got the chance. CLG were on fire from the beginning, and it's proven a very, very tough match for Titan. It wasn't just Peter who was able to challenge them. The North American Counterlogic gaming team definitely proving on point here on Dust2.
And Titan, they've got such a tough round ahead of them. 1 minute still on the clock, and CLG down, not in any rush whatsoever. They know the money situation is dire for Titan, and Titan not looking to try and pick this one up. You can see Cutler and I believe it's Hazed just taking their time. They might get caught out by this pit player if they're not too careful. Apex just around the corner. As time continues to tick away, I think Apex might be able to pick this one up. Hazed already takes it, but immediately Maniac actually appears, takes 2 with him. Fantastic performance from him as Peter responds, finally shutting down that surprise party. And now it's 3v3, and Titan need to do everything here.
Existence, Deagle in the middle, looking for the 1D gun. Tarek prevent him from getting that 30 bomb. Existence just has to basically escape as they're coming up from top mid as well. Kenny's here though. Good position for him. He's going to get that kill on Tarek. Really fast flick there. He was actually aiming a little bit higher up at that point in time. Now it's Peter versus Cutler versus the rest here. Peter gets the scope so close. What a nice flick as well. RPK inside. Peter 15 hand. He's going to go for it. Pre-fires it. And Kenny will pick up the kill as well. And Titan just barely winning the round. Peter's not afraid to take these fights, man. This is admirable.
I think Titan just want to cause the entire audience and us here just to kind of get a couple of heart problems, maybe. They're really kind of forcing us to get behind them as they are really... Oh, Anders is excited.
Yeah, look, they're going to go for the long rush. I'm sad they're not going to catch anyone. Maniac hopefully is going to be quick enough to fall back. Actually, he's in a very bad position right now. Maniac, there's so many people to kill here, and he's going to get one. The flashbang works so well, double kill, and that's more than he could have asked for. But he will go down and give up the rifle regardless here. Apex, good aim, takes the 1, does a lot of damage, and Existence is there to help out, so they will stabilize Titan. But that long rush is so dangerous. If he had been further up, he could have got overrun really quickly, and if that flashbang hadn't worked so well, he could have got no kills at all.
Yeah, best $200 ever spent for him, managing to completely stabilize that push. And I mean, Titan, they're hanging on by a thread. 1 round, and CLG already committed, and Peter opens up again. Kenny this time eliminated. And the guy, we said he had to perform, and he is, as he seems to be getting these opening picks that his team require. Now, 5-4. That's
maybe
all to play for.
Maybe it's the S that makes the difference.
Maybe that one letter.
Like we said, I talked to Peter earlier, and he said, I really want to play against Kenny. He said earlier on the chat, Kenny, you're a god. Well, he managed to get the kill, but Existence! Oh, I hope we can see that in slow motion at one point or other. He must have caught just a pixel of him to get the flick through the door. Peter go back in his place for a moment at least. 4v4. We're moving up long here on the CLG side while leaving Cutler behind, and this is always a good idea. If you're going to go for an A push, it's always a good idea having someone in lower dark or someone top of mid as well. It can work really well, but they need to get in here, otherwise, you know, that last player is not really going to have an effect. So the rest have to do the work while he lingers behind and lurks. If this was an IP, you know, be get right like lurking back there. But it's not. It's CLG, and they are playing damn well at the moment. Maniac timing off by just a second. He still gets the kill. Finesse going to return it, though. And Apex up on Catwalk. He needs some backup here, but if they try and rotate through middle, then they're going to run into the remaining CLG player, and that's Cutler playing. Oh, he goes down. Existence picks up the kill. Tarek now. It's a 1v3. He's going to have to go big here. Tries to plant the bomb, and he's going to go down. Apex won't even let him. It's a good round from Apex and Existence, and remember, they lost Kenny in the first second of that round.
They're not requiring his picks for that one, and all of a sudden, CLG just one round away. We saw this happen in their first game. They struggle to wrap the games up. They kind of get into this why are we losing kind of mindset. That's what, at least that's how they described it to me. And that's probably exactly what's going through their minds right now. One round, it seems so easy, but Titan not making it so. Great double nade from Maniac, landing into the pockets of two CLG members, and all of a sudden, CLG, they were pretty in trouble before. Now three members to 5. This round's as good as over.
There are a couple of upsets here that can happen. First of all, Titan can make like a really ridiculous comeback where they just end up winning like 9 rounds in a row or something like that. And apart from that, they might also be able to stop Tarek from getting the 30 bomber, though. Over on long, Peter is going to pick up that kill, and Maniac actually not doing too much damage either. Kenny's already low on health. He got dinked as he tried to take the peak. Peter's hiding in the corner, and he's been discovered already. Will go down. Bomb making its way out the middle, though, and over at the B bomb site. It's actually Existence who has to stay alive here. AWP gonna miss the flick early on. They're coming for him. He gets the kill on the Finesse, and well, we'll pick up Cutler as well. Titan gonna end up winning the round 15-11. Pressure is definitely mounting here for CLG, because this is where experience comes in. Now they know they're so close, but they can also feel Titan getting closer and closer. The gap is closing behind them.
Yeah, I mean, they can feel the pressure, yes, but Titan have been under this pressure for so long already. Closing this gap one round at a time. Titan's doing something aggressive. Oh, it's Kenny! Sneaks up on Hayes, bullet to his brain, and all of a sudden Apex does the same. CLG, 2 men falling. And this was a big round for CLG. This could have been their shot. But Kenny S just reminding them who he is.
He jumped up on the pixel on the box. Like, that jump is actually not, it's already not that easy to make. Like, you gotta at least put a little bit of practice. Then he stops halfway jump and just gets the kill. Peter and Finesse. They could still do all right here. At least put some fear back in Titan.
Talk about momentum, and Titan are slowly building up. But all the same, they've had a whole lot of match points in CLG. They still just need 1 to have that spot confirmed over at March 12th. Okay, Apex just facing the wall. He knows he's got that belief in his teammates waiting. Kenny S, eyes trained on short, and looks like it's going to be Finesse first to jump into his AWP crosshair. He picks up 1, looking for a second as well. Peter gets taken down, and Kenny S, he's been performing out of his skin this event, and this is only the 2nd game.
Yeah, Kenny was also a really slow start, but he's really picked it up here. It wasn't him top fragging before, but now he's up to 21 kills. And the guy holding up in Goose looking into the wall there, if Kenny doesn't get both those kills, he's going to toss that grenade right into the wall and then go for the peak, and they're going to get completely flashed here. And now look at Titan. The aggression is coming out. They're feeling it. They come back here, and they'll clean up all of the middle. 4 kills just like that, and Hazed out here wondering. Well, he got the kill on Maniac, but he's got to be wondering what happens to the rest of his team. Goes for the fight here, but he's got no head armor either. He ends up going down to Kenny.
Wow.
15-13.
CLG just got disintegrated in the middle area. Now, looks like they're going to have something else up their sleeve, and Tarek going to be taking that second up. We've seen him do it before. Let's see how well this one plays out. This is a big round for CLG. If they see that 14 on the board, they're going to be feeling awfully close to that overtime.
Titan slow with the cross, but that's going to be just fine. Now, are they going to cross one more over? I was just wondering. I think it's Apex who's down there, so he's not going to peek it, but could try and see if he could make the jump. CLG back into the middle. Again, very standard setup here. Nothing tricky about that. It's going to come down to the later positions before we can really start to see what's happening. And the fact that they've only got one guy long means B is a little bit more likely at this point. Kenny looking for an opening, but now the bomb's making its way back, and that says a lot. If they do go long with the bomb, they need to win this fight in pit versus Maniac, and he has actually been crumbling just a little bit a couple of times. He's not been doing too badly. He's got 19 kills, but if they can take down Maniac here without a fight, it's going to be rough. Kenny falling back. Apex goes down. Now, are they going to group up long, or are they going to fight one at a time? And it seems like they are going to try and at least pair up a little bit, but this is actually not a group position. I'd rather Maniac be in the pit, because now they're going to get sandwiched in between long and short. This is going to be rough for Titan. Maniac, great flashbang, underhand throw, gets the first kill, 6 bullets. He's going to go down to Hayes, and Kenny's up here. He's already legged one. He goes for the kill. Quick flick, and RPK is there as well. And now RPK comes out, gets the one. Has the pistol out, sees it, but he's going to go down to Cutler. It's a 1v1, and X-Systems going to take down Cutler, and we're at 15-14. What a close round.
What a fantastic shot as well from Existence, just through the kind of depleting smoke to secure that 14th round. And oh, CLG, they have just enough to scrape together for this final buy. No full nades though, in fact not even full armor for Hayes, as he's down to the 0. And this is really tough for them. Titan closing this one. Closing it down to 15-14. Kenny is on fire as he looks to pick up a second. Not going to happen. Hayes back and forth. We see it leveled out to 3 already. 3v3, and we're only 1 minute. We've only had 1 minute 30 still on the clock. So fleeting from CLG, trying something new. And I mean, rightfully so. They've got to try something new, because what they've been doing at the moment has not been working.
Coming out long here with Peter in the background as the artillery. Is a really, really good move, but he has to win this fight versus Existence, RPK or Apex. Whoever is the first to peak, they need that kill here, CLG, and especially Apex is going to be tough to deal with in position. RPK also down there, and Apex hears them coming. They get the kill there, Finesse. RPK goes down, Existence. Oh, Titan, they might end up losing in the very last second, and you can see Kenny in the corner there just face-palming a tiny bit. This is going to be rough for the Belgian. He's got 11 kills so far. He needs to get the last 3, and Peter will shut it down. Counter Logic Gaming going to win in the winners match against Titan of all teams. What a great performance from the NA team.
They do it again. CLG, they just like to make it a little bit more exciting for us. They seem to get so very close to those match points, and then they just finally close. I see a little dance there from Cutler. He's happy with that one, as is the entire team. They've managed to do it. Albeit a bit of a hard graft at the end of that one, but they just give Titan that false hope and then snatch it away.
Alex, they lost 7 rounds in a row at the end. I mean, Titan won 7 in a row. It's going to be an 8th to force the overtime. But you see how well-mannered they are as well, just giving them a bit of... I think that was even a high five there for Peter and Kenny. Definitely some mutual respect there. But also Tarek playing really well, and people on the internet especially have been after him. They've been saying, well, you know, he plays good online, but what about LAN, you know? And it is a very different experience. You know, playing Titan especially. A lot of credit to CLG. I'm impressed. That was very cool.
Yeah, very cool from Tarek, especially on that CT side. That B site was his own. Like, I mean, yes, he was backed up a little bit, but he can do it with a 5.7, he can do it with an M4. Just give him a weapon and he will hold that site. So really good stuff from him. And I mean, individually wise, Peter, he wasn't at the top of the scoreboard, but you have to remember, we were saying about it before the game kicked off, take Kenny S out of the equation, and both him and the rest of his team were doing a great job at that. I think we outlined kind of a good strategy, an anti-Titan strategy.
Yeah. Very, very nice stuff. I absolutely love it. So that means CLG are through. They are.
That's it.
They're going to Katowice, the main tournament, and that's a really, really big upset. Congratulations to them. We're going to go for a quick break here before we continue on with the later matches, and I think I'm going to be on a bit of a break. But
yeah, you get to take a breather. I'm going to be casting with Jason, and he's going to be joining me at the desk before we go into that next game.
All right. Well, stay tuned, guys. It'll be a bit of a break, and we'll be back here soon with the Katowice qualifiers. So stay with us here, and remember to tweet as well at ESL One, and we'll catch all those tweets as well. We'll be right back.